the Mantis Man of New Jersey, the Beast of Bray Road, and the Trolls of Scandinavia. Get ready for a monster-filled episode of Werewolf Radar.
Coming out of the gates, choosing a side against pandas. It is Werewolf Radar, everybody. Welcome to the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name's Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Balding.
I am Roger Norquist.
And today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstroco Canopic Jars. Tired of carrying your guts on the inside? Lose unsightly organ weight and protect your corporeal remains by packing your vitals into one of our sleek, matte-finished titanium jars that will fit nicely into any sarcophagus, mausoleum, or carry-on luggage compartment. Monstroco Canopic Jars. What the fuck?
I'll take two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. One for your heart, one for your kidney. That's all you need in the afterlife.
Those are the two organs I have left.
Mm-hmm. The rest have been bicentennial manned.
I'm more
became a body
steampunk
locker
clock
in
than human now.
2020.
Roger has a Walkman where his brain should be.
80s tech works better than some of my organs. I'm sorry. I've done a number.
Yeah.
You can pop in a new tape when you get tired of the current track, although who could get tired of the Proclaimers, you know? When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be. God, they were so good. How are you guys? Getting enough Proclaimers in your diet?
Yeah, I'm actually only listening to B-sides anymore. And the Proclaimers, the B-side, same song, still going.
But performed by bees.
Yep.
I've been listening to people scream at the paranormal.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Zach Baggins situation? Like, come out of there, bro!
It's a mixture. I like variety on my playlist. So it's some of that. It's some with people just being dreadfully scared of the paranormal. It's a lot of screams. It's a lot of variety, a lot of diversity.
You can't get in this jelly jar I brought. I like to think that at Zach Baggins' house, he's got like a wall just full of jars that has ghost written on it. It's like, are there really ghosts in all of these? Yeah, some of them, I think.
No.
Probably.
I'm going to try to reach out to them and see if they'll do an intervie with us. I think we got enough clout some of the interviews I've been doing to realize at least we can get a B Baggins, you know, not A Baggins, but B Baggins, like one of his lowers.
Like a Bilbo?
Yeah, see if you can get us an interview with Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah, not Zach Baggins. No.
I do. From A Baggins to Zach Baggins. Z Baggins. I do want to know if Zach Baggins has a super shrill scream, though.
God, that would be
good. It's so high pitched.
Nothing.
Are you saying that I need to do a super cut of Zach Baggins screamings to research this?
Absolutely.
Put money in the fund.
We're inching ever closer to Zach Baggins jamming me into a jar for all the things I've said about him. I'll be on that shelf one day.
Well, you'll be in a Monstroco brand canopic jar, and we'll be able to transport you back.
Heck yeah, they are nice. It looks like something. It looks kind of like an early iPod generation, you know? I mean, it's definitely a jar, and it definitely has, oh God, yeah, guts in there. But
there's only like 10 gigs of information you can store on.
Yeah, you can slip your liver and like one Beck album in here.
That album's got huge in the future.
And it comes with Odelay already loaded. So
yeah, already loaded.
Who wants to hold the speaking skull first?
Give me the skull.
All right.
Take it.
I wish to speak today on a little known local monster that I stumbled upon in my nightly creepings around the web. Whenever you're on the internet late at night, rest assured, I'm there too, thumbing through the back pages, looking for monsters that people might not have heard of yet.
It's our number one service here.
I came upon one that was reported initially by Weird New Jersey, which is a publication that we have touched on a couple of times. Sort of a famous, I guess you could call it a zine, a paranormal zine from the East Coast, and enjoyed kind of a heyday in the 90s. And they're still going, and a lot of people took a lot of exception with this particular publication, and therefore it got a little bit of buzz. But they were the first, allegedly, to report on the Mantis Man of Musconetcong River. They just call it the Mekong River because, as you can see, it's hard for my stupid mouth to wrap around. The Mantis Man, let's try it again. The Mantis, I'm going to get a running start here. Hang on.
All right, go, 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 go.
The Mantis Man of the Musconetcong River. Damn it.
That was better. You got a few more feet on that.
Musconetcong. Okay, anyway. This is from exemplar.com. What is the Mantis Man? Any guesses?
Is it the guy from the short-lived television program Mantis?
No.
All right, real guess.
That was my real guess.
A person with
series, and now he walks the riverbanks.
He had nowhere else to go.
A person with an exoskeleton body type, which is what I was learned in my interview with Sue Walker that I'm supposed to call them, versus an insectoid.
Okay.
Of around human height, 6 feet or 8 feet. But still has like mantis arms, no hands, but like mantis arms. A Mantis Man.
Sure.
Half man, half mantis. He wears the jeans.
Yeah.
No, but no jeans. Just like an 8-foot mantis, I think.
You definitely.
Who's that mantis in those dungarees?
If you want to trap the Mantis Man, put out some jeans and a pair of size 12 cowboy boots. And just that's what he's out here looking for. He's looking for some sweet kicks.
That's my legitimate description of though.
If anybody's going to remake Roadhouse, they should do it with a Mantis Man.
Fuck yeah. You're not far off, Roger. According to exemplar.com, fishermen frequenting the Musconetcong River near Hackettstown, New Jersey, might need to be on the lookout for a large creature that has been spotted numerous times in the area. According to eyewitnesses, it is a roughly 7 foot tall, resembling a praying mantis, but it has a humanoid shape to it. So its knees bend in like fashion to ours. It doesn't necessarily have the long abdomen or anything. It's kind of, bipedal humanoid creature.
It's got a dick.
It's got a major schlong. It's got a ripping 6-pack. It's got jeans and some sweet boots on. No, none of that. That's all slash fic from us. The first report comes to us from Phantoms and Monsters. This was a story sent to Lon Strickler of Phantoms and Monsters in a post from July 26, 2011. Strickler published a sighting sent to him by a witness now known to be a man named Paul Jacks, thanks to Jacks' appearance on Monsters and Mysteries in America. So he was kind of sketchy about telling the story at first, and then Monsters and Mysteries in America came along and dangled that MMA money in front of them. Which has caused a lot of mix-ups. This is when remember when Chuck Liddell accidentally fought the Mothman?
I mean,
a lot of cross wires there. Okay, of the creature's appearance, Jack said, triangular head, huge, slanted black eyes, just like a praying mantis. Its whole body was gangly, knobby. He says it twice. But you could still sense that it was powerful. And no, I would not say it was a, quote, big bug. It was definitely a humanoid, despite the mantis/insect qualities. Jack also describes how he felt during his experience. Please know, I am, quote, privy to the paranormal. He seems to think of himself as sort of a conduit.
Is it a receiver?
Yes, exactly. Always have been. Shadow people, ghosts, whatever. But what I encountered that day was not spirit. It was a biological living creature, but it disappeared into thin air almost as soon as I saw it. He acknowledges that after doing some digging, he found some references to similarly described creatures that have been labeled as mantis aliens, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, which are believed to be interdimensional beings, though Jax did not believe that the praying mantis-like creature he saw was one of them. Jax continues in his message to Strickler, again, I stress the strong impression that the Mantis Man was cloaked, and I caught it just right. It abruptly found itself against a new/blank background and was adjusting quickly. So he like caught this thing, and then it kind of like moved in such a way to kind of reposition itself against the sky, and then disappeared again.
Immediately camoed.
There's reports of that happening. There are reports of, you know, alien beings or whatever just messing up the cloak. They're not infallible.
They do it all the time. I mean, they're just as dumb as we are. That's how I know that we can beat them.
Overall, the undisclosing, maybe I shouldn't say this, but unofficial on my interview with the Sue Walker, it was a talking point. We were like, so aliens are just like us, right? Stupid. And we're like, yeah, you know, we're all the same overall. They mess up too.
So aliens are just like us, huh? Segmented arms, scythes, instead of hands.
Are we not all the same abortions of a monstrous god?
And then we just smoked a cigarette together.
He does not believe that it slipped into another dimension. For whatever reason, he seems pretty opposed to that theory. Which I would imagine something slipping into another dimension would look a lot like something cloaking, but he seems pretty adamant on that point.
Thinks it would have like a slide whistle noise though that he never thought.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a slide whistle.
Paul Jax says that he could sense the creature was powerful, but also that it was shocked to see him. He attributed this shock to his whatever attitude towards the entire encounter at the time.
Just like looks over at this Mantis Man and rolls his eyes.
Ugh.
What am I gonna? I'm gonna stop eating this beignet because you're fucking appearing to me from another dimension.
Please.
Doubtful.
I don't even believe in other dimensions.
Here's some further sightings. On December 19th, 2012, Lon Strickler posted an update detailing how he came across a post on the Hackettstown Life forum, and then later received messages from people who had known or met the person the post described. Thanks again to Monsters and Mysteries in America, it is now known that the witness described in this post was Joe Parenti. Parenti did not make the post in question and had not contacted Strickler at this point. I'm sure he's super stoked that we all know who he is then. A friend of Parenti who made the original post wrote into Phantoms and Monsters in order to confirm their belief in the account. According to one friend of Parenti's who contacted Strickler, quote, as always, people believe what they want to believe, and I'm still not quite sure if I really believe this. But just to reiterate, this friend of mine was downright spooked, and the fact that he admitted the embarrassing fact that he wet himself upon seeing this, and all the tears mixed into yesterday's tale, he must have seen something, whatever it was. So the guy saw something that made him go onesies, and then like a year later, he confides in this friend, you know, someone he thought could keep a secret forever, who blasted it all over the internet. And he when he describes it, he's like, they're in the middle of talking about something. They're kind of out on the river, and his buddy is seeming like real edgy. And eventually he's like, what's going on? And he's like, all right, I got something that I need to tell you about. I got to get this off my chest. And he tells him a story about seeing this mantis creature that the other guy also described. I thought it was in this article, but the first guy to see it, Jax, he describes he was fishing, and it was like the day after bad weather, and so the skies were overcast. It wasn't really raining, but the river itself was really strong, the type of day where you wouldn't see a lot of fishermen out there. And he kind of stumbles to get his footing in the river. He's standing there in waders. And he looks over and he noticed the thigh and the back calf, the left thigh and the right calf turning away from him first, and it was like looking back over its shoulder at him, like fuck, trying to get the cloaker to work. And then it dissipates, in his words. Which, is it going invisible? Is it going to a different plane of existence? The world may never know. Strickler would continue to receive messages from people who believed they had encounters with the Mantis Man. In a post from August 19th, 2013, a witness described a childhood memory that they had assumed was a dream before seeing the posts on Phantoms and Monsters. The witness said they were on a sidewalk in a location near the other sightings, surrounded by 3 beings similar in appearance to the Mantis Man. These beings suddenly disappeared, and the witness, quote, felt a warm assurance of friendship. Sometime later, their mother picked them up in a panic. It was the 80s. We used to park our kids on the sidewalk with Mantis Men all the time. But maybe that's why she was panicking. She was like, where are those Mantis Men I left you with? Another noteworthy message posted on August 9th, 2014 came from a person who believed they had made contact with these creatures all the way back in 1987. This witness adds a new element to these encounters, explaining that, quote, they communicated through some manner whereby they connected to the inside of my head through the brain behind both ears. So what the hell does that mean?
I mean, telepathically, I guess.
That's the infinite voice.
I don't get the brain behind both ears.
But it sounds like they jabbed these tentacles into his mind and was like, be not afraid.
I think it talked to that little part. I think it tingled that part, whatever that's called, in the back of your brain.
I think that's mostly your visual cortex.
Well, I tingled it.
A USB bus. The witness continues, I got the distinct impression that they were cold and insect-like. What gave it away? Logical, with very little in the way of emotion or compassion, which frightened me the most. The other impression I got was that they believed themselves to be our superiors, like we believe about animals in our world. Whatever they were deciding, it was based on this belief.
Or just if you're a record store guy, everyone trying to buy from you.
Yeah.
Really?
Or me punching down at pandas. I don't know where that came from.
I have a report from a very fishy website.
Okay.
On the part of the brain that is associated with significant activation of telepathy. It is the right parahippocampal gyrus.
Oh yeah, that's where he says, actually. He says, wait, I remember now. It was the right parahippocampal gyrus.
And that is from www.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov.
Well, that's from the National Institute of Health.
Mm-hmm.
That's also Britain, probably.
That's also my favorite dance craze, sweeping the nation in the 80s. The right parahippocampal gyrus. Everybody do the gyrus. We get into theories here. It says very little is known about the Mantis Man. Get the hell out of here. Some think it's an experiment gone wrong or a bizarre and extreme mutation, while others think it could be an alien or an interdimensional being. One witness reported on by Lon Strickler thought they might even be guardian angels. Be not afraid.
Why the not? I like it. More
show
guardian
me your
angels.
gyrus. I wish to communicate. Overall, accounts of reported sightings and detailed descriptions of the creature are relatively scarce. The few eyewitness accounts of the Mantis Man tendered by persons who probably don't know each other seem to agree as to the details and a general sense of terror. Were you afraid? I was afraid. Except for this Jax guy. He was like, I didn't give a fuck.
I wasn't scared. I wanted to go to the bar.
As Brent Swanser writes on Mysterious Universe, and then it's just a bunch of shit debunking vaccines. Mysterious Universe doesn't believe in vaccines, you guys. I'm just kidding. No, he says, it seems unlikely that there is a real Bigfoot-sized praying mantis that has been lurking in New Jersey undiscovered. So we are probably dealing with either a hoax or something very odd indeed. Oh, you mean like a real Bigfoot-sized praying mantis lurking around New Jersey, Brent?
glad he could narrow it down to those two options, though.
Yeah. But I wanted to touch on, because there is kind of a precedent for this in other tales, if you will. We've heard of the mantid aliens, which seems like a likely culprit, or as I'm told we're supposed to call them, exoskeletal persons.
The mantis people, not insectoids.
Who want to pierce your gyrus and have a gab. This is from Gaia.com.
Now, Gaia is a cult. I always like to remind everyone.
Nice.
Yeah, they're. This is where all the New Age EQ people came from, probably.
Yeah, they like to start this one by saying insect beings appear within mythologies throughout the world, which I looked into. It's not the way that they say it is here. They're like including Native American and African folklore.
Yes.
That's true. You know, there's African creation myths about a mantis actually being the first living creature upon the earth, which could harken back to a pre-inhabitant of this planet, maybe.
Well, do they mention maybe like a specific part of Africa or a tribe this comes from, or are they just going, you know, like in Africa?
I think they did the latter.
A quarter of the population of the world.
No, they did the former. I was just skipping over it. The Khoisan tribe of Africa specifically regard the mantis as the first living creature upon the earth who granted life to animals and humans, inventing language and bringing fire to the people. It is even said that the mantis created the moon as a guide for hunters by throwing a gallbladder into the sky.
That's how I would have done it too. Smart mantis.
And I looked into the Native American mythology,
because I think they're referencing, in theory, the Hopi and the Navajo legends of ant people or something.
There is some reference in the Navajo creation myth, I think, about in like the third world. Like without going too much into it, there was a world that they had to escape from. There was the second world, then there was the third world, and then there was the fourth world, which is where we now live. And in the third world, or maybe it was the second, in one of the worlds, it was a place of great darkness that was inhabited by insect people and bat people.
In the Dark Council chat, Jason says that my great grandma has a story of a 6-foot-tall grasshopper humanoid in the San Luis Valley in 1903.
Crazy. That's amazing.
It's pretty insane.
So this is kind of a little bit of the origin and characteristics of the mantid aliens, the insect people, if you will. Mantis people. Origin. Some people believe these extraterrestrials come from the Draco system, working hand in hand with the reptilians. Uh-oh.
Oui, j'accuse.
Characteristics.
Yeah. According to Project Pegasus people, they're pretty adamant about how all of the now we're calling them exo people races are working for the reptilians for the destruction of mankind, or at least their enslavement.
Dang.
I feel this is anti-mammal sentiment.
Well, pick it up, will ya? Characteristics. By far the most striking aspect of the mantis alien is its physical kinship with the praying mantis. The craziest part about this mantis alien is how much it looks like a mantis. The carnivorous bipedal insect of its namesake. Okay. Oh.
That mantis.
I thought you were talking about the short-lived TV show. Many report these beings as 6 to 7 feet tall with long, thin torsos. Their necks, arms, and hands have additional joints. Their heads are insect-like and triangular with large slanted eyes of deep brown to black. Most mantids are described as dark brown. Jax in his encounter described this as being gray and black. But other colors such as green and black have also been encountered. Their bodies are composed of a segmented exoskeleton, and some abductees have reported that the mantis seem to be coated in an oily substance. Sunscreen? Who knows? Mantis are often encountered wearing long robes in a variety of colors, perhaps signifying rank, while some are unclothed. Ooh la la. Communication methods. Although the mantis... Just a second.
Mid-menage.
Just a second. Although the mantis tend to communicate with human abductees using telepathic messages, they have been witnessed exchanging words with one another using an auditory language. Several contactees have described the mantis language as a series of clicking sounds exchanged between the creatures. Abilities. Some experiencers state that the mantids are also shapeshifters and use advanced technologies to create a field around their bodies to make them appear human. So any of the people you see walking around there might be mantids using their cloaking drones to look like, you know, fucking Willem Dafoe.
Steve
Buscemi.
Something new to accuse my loved ones of doing.
Yeah. And then we've got a common abduction scenario. They seem to be the overseers, which is what they are sometimes referred to as, the overseer aliens. Often appear to be in leadership positions of power during an abduction. Their intentions on Earth, the perceived motivation of the mantis in regards to human abduction, is somewhat mysterious. The hell you say? Some contactees describe these creatures as positive, uplifting beings who seek to protect humanity and Earth. One common thread found among many abduction scenarios is centered around the use of holographic projections as a means of education. Abductees often report mantis beings showing them holographic images of the destruction of planet Earth to illustrate the possible negative impact that our species could have upon the planet. Others have reported an increase in psychic abilities post-abduction. Many experiencers claim that the mantis seems to possess the uncanny ability to put abductees at ease, sort of a psychic Xanax situation, offering telepathic words of comfort that eliminate the fear of an encounter. Then,
what's up? They're a little bit behind, the times.
Do you remember that one? Do you remember? Those dudes were such bros.
They had a pilot. I wonder how it went.
Then there are people who think that the mantises are engaged in human DNA harvesting.
Who isn't, though?
Some return from their experience with the mantis with a darker point of view, stating that the mantis wish to conquer and control Earth rather than aid in human ascension. Some believe that a mantis hybridization program is currently taking place using human DNA to create a new species. Some abductees report the presence of the problematically named tall blacks, a creature thought to be such a hybridization. Experiencers describe these beings as incredibly tall and more humanoid than insectoid, with black skin, extremely long limbs, and extra joints on their appendages. These abduction scenarios are very similar to those involving mantis aliens and seems to evolve around medical experiments. The most chilling feature of the tall blacks, encountered by many abductees, are their glowing red eyes.
Not their extra joints on their limbs.
Nope, it's the eyes.
All right.
Which the glowing red eyes and the dark kind of presence of these things sort of feels shadow person-y, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Although, I mean, it seems like they're more, they seem to be more physically apparent.
Yeah. Yes.
Than shadow people.
And that's kind of the long and short of it. This is, we started at the Mantis Man of the Mekong River in New Jersey. And I guess the question remains, are these the same as the mantis aliens that are abducting people? Is it something else entirely? Are we dealing with, literally just is the Mekong River one of those strange areas where the veil between worlds is thin? And, every once in a while, because in the first guy's encounter, he talks about how surprised this thing seemed to be seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it wasn't so much that he
might have been on
surprised
its territory.
And panicked.
Exactly. Maybe it wasn't so much that a mantis stepped into our world as he stepped into the mantis realm. And the mantis went back and clicked to all of its friends like, it was horrible. It was pink and mostly hairless. And I think it was fishing, but it was so bad at it. Yeah. So there you go. That's Jordan's Mantis Corner.
All right. Well, I have a little...
And I'm not referring to that corner of my apartment I'm afraid to go near.
I have a little palate cleanser from a Pingo. We're going to call it the Pingo Corner.
Okay.
And Jason Wardell hit us up.
Ooh.
And shared a next door post that reads, from Dayton, Ohio, 4 days ago when this is published on Monday, saw a dude literally drop from the sky on Fairview like an hour ago.
What?
There was a weird light in the sky, and then he just floated down.
Wow.
He ran off really fast. I don't think anyone else saw it. I never seen a human run that fast.
That's Terminator. That's Terminator right there.
I don't know. I get like weird Stooges vibes from it. You know, like woo, whoop.
It does seem to be like he escaped. Maybe like he found the lever, like fought his way through the paralysis, and like slipped around on all the scientific goo, and eventually fought his way out, and then just kept running home.
I think he escaped. On me.
I think he got science goo on him. I think he escaped.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fun one. Thank you for the Pingo.
Pretty cool.
If you guys see anything like this on your next doors or whatever, please hit us up on the Twitter and share it.
And I can't stress this enough. Chase him down. Tackle him.
Yeah,
give me your secrets, Shadow Man. Grab him by the collar. Shake him.
Mm-hmm. Shake him good. Get the information.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying interrogate him using Pentagon methods.
I'm saying that.
I'm saying use pentagram methods.
Wait, I want to change mine. That one.
All right. Can I keep going next, I guess? Or okay. So we're keeping with monsters.
Wait, I want to go again.
This is almost a deep dive of monsters because we forgot the deep dives last episode of every month. Also, Pingo shout out coming up.
Hell yeah.
I'm doing a segment on 14 facts about the Beast of the Bray Road.
Ooh.
The creepiest animal you've never heard of is what the article from Thought Catalog says, but we mention it all the time here.
Or if you listen to this podcast, the creepiest animal that you've heard of.
Yeah.
A few things about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I also have 2 first-hand accounts, I believe. Yes, I do. 2 first-hand accounts. One of them recent.
Okay.
So, let's begin. This was curated by Chrissy Stockton of Thought Catalog. Thank you for doing the work. Check out her writing. She's into the paranormal and does a good job of categorizing all of this. So, number 1. Since the early days of the country, people. Since the early days of the country. You need a comma there, though, ma'am. Since the early days of the country, people have been reporting sightings of the Beast of Bray Road in and around Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. People have also seen the beast as far away as Illinois. The Beast of the Bray Road, number 2, is a Bigfoot-like cryptic. It stands on 2 legs and can resemble a bear, or in some cases, a wolf. And there's various theories on that. We'll actually go into it when we do an actual deep dive on the Beast of Bray Road.
Yeah, because I feel like I've mostly heard about it in terms of how it may be a wolf man or a dog man type creature.
There's also bear man-like reports. It's definitely on 2 legs and hairy, leading also to Bigfoot comparisons.
Is there a chance that it's a panda bear?
No, because it is intelligent. Sorry, just more anti-panda propaganda.
Really hitting them where it hurts this week. And you know what? Get it together, pandas. There's a famous panda podcast, and they're going to take shots at us this week. And we'll just go back and forward.
We're going full U.S. exceptionalism on the pandas. Yeah. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps, panda. Get yourself off the endangered species list.
It is one of the only animals with boots, and therefore bootstraps.
Okay, so it is a very large, intelligent, and brown-gray in color.
You can tell it's intelligence because it's always doing a Sudoku.
Of course, it is the Beast of Bray Road because in modern times, that county road is where the beast was first seen. The local reporter, Linda Godfrey, who first covered the story, was so convinced of the eyewitness accounts that she wrote the book The Beast of Bray Road, Tailing Wisconsin's Werewolf. She believes the beast is real, but has never had a first-hand encounter experience with it. I feel like that sometimes, to where we talk a lot about the paranormal, but it just never comes for us.
Yeah, I mean, we all do live in bunkers that we don't leave. Encounter the extra strange through our radar.
You gotta leave the radar to experience what the radar pings. That's fair. You gotta go to where it pings. Many locals consider the Beast of Bray Road to be a werewolf.
I feel that same way about bungee jumping. like I believe in it, but it's never happened to me.
It's never happening to me. Some cryptozoologists consider it only another series of Bigfoot sightings. Some contention there. Locals versus Bigfoot enthusiasts.
Yeah, who are these
researchers?
Cryptozoologists that haven't ever seen it that are gonna like
a fucking
take away the personal anecdotes?
And I'm not gonna play the video for time, but I will share the article and everything, and share just an image for the YouTube. That's what they consider a Bigfoot. That's so wolf-like. It's a huge fucking wolf with very like muscular man arms in that still frame.
What a hilarious line to draw, to be like a wolf man, that's insane. It's obviously a Bigfoot.
It's gotta be a Bigfoot.
Okay. So I kind of sped read. Oh, I have one more fact for you. Eyewitness accounts date back to the formation of the state, but most sightings of the Beast of Bray Road occurred between 1989 and 1991.
Wow, I had no idea that it went back that far.
The YouTube video that we just kind of saw a picture of was a woman's first-hand account from 1999. It is 1 minute and 40 seconds if we want to listen to it, but then I would have to do more editing in the back end. No, I'm serious. We could listen to it if we want, but I will just have the link posted so you can
that's okay. I'll
go to it yourself. Here is someone's first-hand experience that is written out so we can just do it in the traditional manner. I've lived in the town of Franklin, Wisconsin. This was about 1997, 1998, and we had just moved into a brand new subdivision and were currently the only house that was built. The rest of the area for a long distance was empty lots on what used to be an adjoining farm's old land. Our backyard was a running creek. On the other side of the creek was some brush and a single-lane road with a wooden streetlight that gave off an orange hue about 30 yards away or so. Remember when we went to Third Bridge and it's the exact same description?
Yeah.
So anyway, these places are haunted. Stop living by them, people. The wooden streetlight with the orange hue. Yeah. It's all bad. Anyway.
I'm impressed that they decided to still build a state after someone was like, hey, you know that place where you guys want to build that state? Yeah, it's werewolves. It's crawling with werewolves.
Well, let's call it Wisconsin. I don't think that's going to attract anybody.
Now, it was a warm summer night, and I was having a sleepover with one of my friends. We had all the lights off and were playing hide and seek in the dark. I went back to our sunroom and saw something crouched over, illuminated through the bush and the orange streetlight. I'm not sure how to describe its body posture. You know how when you're about to throw up and you hunch over on your knees and palms?
Crazy.
It was similar to that.
That's upsetting and very visceral. I see it.
I mean, that feels like it's in a werewolf in mid-change.
Right? Doesn't it?
Its breaths were so deep and heavy that you could see its chest heaving from that distance.
That's terrifying.
We had 140-pound Akita, which is a type of dog, if I'm remembering existence. who stood 6 foot on its hind
big
legs.
Fluffy guys.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily tell you that whatever this was dwarfed my Akita. I also know that it wasn't any type of dog or wolf. Its hind legs were thick and muscular like a man's, but its body tapered at the abdomen and head like a wolf or canine. I called out to my friend who came over and just said, "What the fuck is that?"
Nice.
You know, real 80s like, What the fuck is that?
What the what?
So his friend must have responded with, "Oh, bitchin'."
Whoa, gnarly.
Of course, they didn't say it like that. They said, "What the fuck is that?" Trying not to make too much noise. We sat there as it was hunched for a good 30 minutes.
Yikes.
My dad, who was a hard-ass Vietnam vet.
Is there another kind?
I mean, you got hard-ass Vietnam vet and war criminal. So I'm glad you're the good one.
Yeah.
And there is no good one in this. War never changes.
Roger's staring off into the distance again.
Okay, so their dad came out to see what the hell we were doing up so late. Just came in. What's the light doing on? We asked what it was.
Snipers can see you.
We asked what it was, and he just said, "I don't know." There was an ellipses, a 5-dot ellipses. He then went outside as we stayed in, scared for my dad. He had one of those old mega lights that had a power of 1,000 candles.
Wow. I thought those were all lost in the crusade.
And he took this with him. He stood in the driveway and shined it into whatever we were watching. It looked back at us, and I honestly don't remember its eye color. What I do remember is that when it took off into the bush, it took off upright like a sprinter from the all-fours stance.
Wow,
let me
crazy.
say that again. It took off upright like a sprinter from the on all four stance. Like at the beginning of a race, just took off like the gun went off.
Wild.
My dad heard it splash through the creek and hightailed it in. It was one of those fucked up moments you don't really talk about because people think you are crazy.
Sure.
When I heard about it so many years later, I immediately knew saw it too. When they heard about the Beast of the Bray Road, they were like, "That's what I saw."
Yeah, that's the guy.
Another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep them coming.
I only have the 2.
More.
Oh, give me time. We can do more on the Beast of the Bray Road.
Okay.
This took place.
Anywhere.
This is the most recent one that Chrissy was able to find. This took place in 2016 in Claiborne, Texas, October at around 1 a.m. Me and my girlfriend.
So I guess it is going somewhere. It's going to Texas.
Me and my girlfriend were sitting outside on my dad's porch smoking a cigarette. It was so dark, it was pretty hard to see. I also want to make note that my dad lived on about 300 acres of vacant land. And he did, for a fact, have many wild animals that roamed that night, as well as cattle, so we were pretty used to seeing wild hogs, coyotes, raccoons, even a wild turkey approached the house once the sun went down.
Wow.
What's a turkey? What exactly are they?
It's a dinosaur.
They're big old birds when they have feathers on them and they haven't been recently cooked.
Turkeys are a cryptid on their own when they're only approach the house once the sun sets down.
They truly are. If you were to, if there were not like a lot of turkeys around and you were to describe it to someone, they would be like, no thanks. What? It looks like what? It has balls on its face? Why doesn't it have any feathers on the head part? You know, for digging into carcasses.
You'd get an infection if you had that, digging into all the carcasses turkeys make.
A feather infection.
So, where was I on there? Coyotes, raccoons, wild turkey once the sun went down. Wild turkeys, we now agreed, are cryptids and monsters. Thus, this didn't...
If you actually have a lot of wild turkey after midnight, you too will become a monstrous cryptid.
This didn't seem like any of those things. There were no street lights, and the closest neighbor was about 2 football fields away. We noticed something creeping through the grass about 30 feet away from the porch. The movement reminded us of a coyote, but this, whatever it was only about 1.5 feet tall and anywhere from 7 to 10 feet long.
Okay.
Its body was pressed almost completely against the ground, and its head turned towards us, almost as if it was stalking us as prey.
Ooh.
We were pretty freaked out when we noticed. So we grabbed our cigarettes and our shoes. But that's when things got even freakier.
Smoking with my shoes off. Sorry.
This thing had been crawling towards us. Had been crawling towards a medium-sized tree. And as it passed behind the tree, it didn't reappear on the other side.
Scary.
Could it have climbed the tree? Or perhaps stood upright behind the tree, hiding and watching, like in a video we reacted to that you should watch and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
And I did not stay around long to find out. All I know is the footsteps stopped. So it wasn't running out of view. Apparently they're also hearing footsteps. My girlfriend suggested we get a flashlight and try and scare it off. To which I responded, "Are you fucking crazy? Get inside now." He definitely said it a lot more frightened.
Yeah. He's right, though.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it doesn't seem like the type of thing that's scared of flashlights.
But... It doesn't matter whose body's collected. If we find someone's body torn apart, isn't that evidence?
Fair.
No, that's probably not good evidence. The torn up body of a couple. That's just sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, or she goes out there with a flashlight because he's kind of a coward, stays back on the porch, and then she gets torn up, and then he gets blamed for it, goes to prison. And it's Texas, so he's got the death penalty hanging over him. And the whole time he's in solitary screaming about the tree thing.
Yeah,
climbs between the trees.
Times.
And there's been other reports. Sean Hannity did a report on it, which featured someone saying that they saw something on 2 legs run out in front of me on the north side of Madison Middleton in Wisconsin.
Right. This is Sean Hannity, right? So it was just an Antifa soldier.
Yep. Yeah. Well, this is before Antifa.
Bust in from Portland.
This was still communism, but they didn't have a better name for it. But that's a recent encounter with the Beast of Bray Road, and some facts that I kind of read through. Interesting, fascinating, and still happening.
The Beast. It's out here.
And also, we had the area of Middleton, England. Jordan, can you do their accent?
Hey, it's me, the Queen. I'm from Middleton. I don't know what that
All right, there you go, Paranoid Cryptid. That one was for you.
Oh, no. You didn't tell me I was doing it in front of a British.
I didn't know they turned Kate into a whole region.
But that's my segment. Sorry it took so long, but just an interesting 2 first-hand accounts that I wanted to go through with you guys.
Yeah, no, that's great. That one from Texas is super weird. I don't even think that's a Bray Road in Canada. That seems like its own weird thing.
Something new. Something wicked.
Anyway, sleep tight, everyone.
Good night.
Watch out for trees.
And look,
everything's behind it.
I'm the Queen.
And I pass the skull to you, Nate.
Yeah, well, let's just do a real quick one then. There is. I was going to do another segment of They Might Be Giants. This time, trolling with the homies. Story of big trolls.
Is that like a company that's like buying everything out to make way for troll habitat? This is big troll bought this land.
This is in the same sort of vein as Big Basque World. Big weird monsters. And this actually, so I think we all kind of know what a troll is. They're big ugly things. They're mostly Scandinavian in nature. They mostly date back to Norse mythology, although they spread out from there, generally speaking, as the Norsemen did across Europe. But so I found this one tale of a troll, and let me ask you if this sounds like something that might be related to the Basque story that I told of Tartalo from the other week.
Tartalo.
One tale tells of Askeladden, the youngest son of a farmer who needed wood from the forest to pay off his debts. When his first two sons went into the forest and returned empty-handed, having been scared away by the troll, Askeladden went into the forest with a piece of cheese to keep him from starving. When he encountered the angry troll, Askeladden pulled out the piece of cheese and, pretending it was a rock, squeezed it until the whey came out. Thus the troll was fooled and, fearing his great strength, offered to help the boy with his wood cutting. After working hard, the troll invited the boy back to his home for a meal. As he was tending the fire, he pointed to two huge buckets and asked the boy to fetch water. The boy realized that he couldn't carry such massive buckets, let alone filled with water, so he claimed that they were too small and that he'll simply bring the entire spring instead.
Whoa.
The troll, obviously not wanting the entire spring in his house, decided that they should exchange chores. The boy tended the fire while the troll went to get water to make porridge. Once it was ready, the boy suggested they have an eating contest. They ate as much as they could. However, the boy had placed his knapsack under his shirt and was filling it with porridge without the troll noticing.
Whoa.
Once it was full, he slashed a hole in it and continued to eat.
Whoa. Oh, you seem to be pissing out porridge all of a sudden.
Once the troll was full and could eat no more.
Like, first of all, awesome food competition move, just to do the cycle all instantly, just constantly do it.
The old Mr. Bean, the old porridge pack.
Once the troll was full and could eat no more, the boy suggested the troll cut a hole in his stomach like the boy had done, so that he could eat as much as he liked. The troll, being rather stupid, did so and promptly died. Thus, the boy took all of his gold and silver, and the farmer could pay off his debts.
What's a troll gonna do with gold and silver? He's just buying porridge with it.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a whole lot more weird troll stuff, and eventually we'll come back to it. But I just thought that was an interesting one because it's this is definitely from this is from Scandinavia somewhere, but this is almost identical to some of the Basque tales about Tartalo.
For sure.
So yeah, troll stories be moving around the world.
Be moving.
We're seeing them all over the place. Similarities.
Hit us with your troll stories.
Hit us with one more, Nate. If it's possible.
Well, how about this? This is
because it left me wanting too much more.
All right. Let me find. Here is. Oh, this one is kind of interesting. So, there's a couple different eddas that mention trolls. There's one that talks about the 9th century skald Bragi Boddason, who apparently was going through a certain forest, quote unquote, late one evening and met a troll woman who aggressively asked him who he was, and in the process ended up describing herself as such. Trolls call me Moon of Dwelling Rungnir, Giant's Wealth Sucker, Storm Sun's Bale, Sirius's friendly companion, Guardian of Corpse Fjord, Swallower of Heaven Wheel. What is a troll other than that?
Oh, now I feel like I should have known the whole time.
And then, that Bragi being a skald of some skill and ability, ends up turning this into a song at some point that eventually makes it to Snorri Sturluson, who records it. But they mentioned Hrungnir, which is interesting. This guy shows up. He's a troll that gets murdered by Thor in a massive battle in the Skald Skaparmal. Comes also from, they all are Snorri Sturluson. But this is from the translation, the same guy that translated that the previous, the troll ladies thing.
Right.
Then he saw Thor in an Asrage as he was traveling at an enormous rate and swung his hammer and threw it from a great distance at Hrungnir. Hrungnir raised... Yeah.
What is an Asrage? Is that like when Thor hulks out?
Well, yeah, basically, he's an Aesir.
Yeah.
So this is a...
I didn't know that they had a fucking Super Saiyan ability. He's going into his Asrage!
He's just channeling all of the power of the gods going back to his entire lineage to the beginning of time when a different type of... I guess Ymir's not a troll, Ymir's a giant. Sure. But, the trolls are a variety of giant to some degree.
Giant kin, if you will.
Yeah. Travis swung his hammer and threw it at a great distance to Hrungnir. Hrungnir, who's battling him with a whetstone, like for sharpening knives, raised the whetstone with both hands, threw it in return. It met the hammer in flight, the whetstone, and the whetstone broke in two. One piece fell to the ground, and from it have come all whetstone rocks. The other piece crashed into Thor's head so that he fell forwards to the ground. But the hammer Mjolnir hit the middle of Hrungnir's head and shattered his skull into small fragments, and he fell forwards over Thor so that his leg lay across Thor's neck.
Wow.
And it ends with Thialfi attacked Milker and he fell with little glory. I assume they mentioned those two people in a prior paragraph.
Yeah.
But here's an interesting thing also with the traveling of tales, because this battle is apparently very similar to the account from the Táin, which is an Irish tale of various Irish kings, mostly the kings of Ulster, fighting each other over cows, mostly cows and queens.
Sure.
But there's an account of the death of Connor, king of Ulster, Connor Van Ness, or Mac Nessa rather, not Van Ness. That's a guy from Queer Eye. But
yeah,
apparently...
remember how on Queer Eye there's four professional gay men doing makeovers and helping people through things in their lives, and then one gigantic Scandinavian troll.
Anyway, there's a very similar to the battle that Thor has with Hrungnir. Apparently, the account of the death of Connor, king of Ulster, has a similar thing where a guy hits him in the head with what's called a brain ball.
Whoa!
Which is the petrified brain of a wizard named Mesgegra, former king of Leinster.
Holy shit!
Which was stolen from a couple fools who stole it from Connor Macnessa, and then it was stolen from these two fools by Set Mech Mechach.
That's a whole fucking Elden Ring build right there.
Yeah, and apparently later on when Set Mech Mechach and Connor Macnessa come to blows in the Táin, Connor gets brain-balled with this wizard brain, and it launches inside his head, but he does not die.
Whoa. He's double-braining.
Yeah, double-brained for a good at least 7 years.
Wow.
Doctors advised him that extreme stress and exertion would open the ball's wound and kill him.
Now you're gonna want to shower around the brain ball for a while.
Anyway, so 7 years on, an eclipse occurs. So he's asking his druids, like, what's the deal with this eclipse? And according to a Christianized version of the story, they tell him that it was because of the murder of Jesus by the Jews.
Oh.
So not only a Christianized, but like a anti-Semitic Christianized.
Yeah.
You can't blame this on the Jewish people too.
Well, this particular this Wikipedia was written by Mel Gibson's father.
Hey, my most wise counselors, what's the deal with this eclipse? Also, can you see the brain ball? I kind of combed my hair and I think I've done a pretty good job of. Oh no, I don't want to hear. You say that the Jews are responsible for everything. You know what? You're no longer my most trusted advisor.
I'm going to trust you less.
Himmler.
Yeah. Anyway, at this news, supposedly the brain ball, because of the stress, the brain ball, the wound opens back up, and then his head explodes.
No. Damn.
So literally blew his mind and the mind of the wizard Mescagra.
Wow.
It's also worth noting that historically, Connor died well before the death of Jesus.
Okay, yeah.
So
when have facts ever mattered to history?
Doesn't actually. Yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah, a lot of troll myths moving around Europe and becoming other weirder, cool stories.
Hold the old roll.
And yeah, you can get a brain ball. They're out there.
Really?
Yep.
All right, I'm Googling it. I'm getting us some.
Yep. Dip into the fortune. We need brain balls for the coming troll army. Well, holy moly. There you have it, holy trolleys. Another episode of Werewolf Radar. We got trolls. We got beasts. We got whatever my thing was. Look at these brain balls. Holy shit.
It was Mantis Man.
We got Mantis Man. That's right.
Kind of hilarious that these brain balls are built specifically to relieve stress.
Yeah, brain balls have apparently moved from being a sweet strength-based Elden Ring weapon to being kind of a therapeutic tool for getting out the ooglies.
Yes, Christ is dead. Just don't deal with,
Yeah.
Squeeze your brain ball.
Squeeze your brain ball. Don't worry. Try not to stress yourself. Your brain ball hole is gaping. Oh, it's like, oh God, it's everybody get the tarp up. His head's exploding.
Oh, I got a towel.
Well, thank you for joining us once again, loyal Pingos. For those of you who couldn't be here, we know you were out there in the field doing your dark work. And for those of you who could be here, thank you so much, Jason from Crypto Science Society, for kicking it in the Zoom room. If you would like to come and kick it in the Zoom room during our darn recordings, you can go check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/Werewolf Radar. You get all kinds of treats and freaks and tidbits of the week. Boy, it's getting easier and easier to rhyme. Does that mean I'm becoming a troll?
You're doing great, though.
Good.
Well, I mean, does your house feel like a bridge or a cave?
Yes, it's a cave over a bridge.
Yep, you're trolling.
Trolling.
And then I can't remember if we said it in this main episode, but we could always refresh it. Please, all Pingos, you are invited from the Crypto Science Society to join them next Saturday, June 2nd at 10 a.m. Mountain Time to celebrate the World UFO Day.
July 2nd, Ethan.
Yeah, no, June. Yeah, July 2nd.
June
Sorry.
2nd is
this one happens back in
Okay,
time.
so that was a separate one. You guys are now invited to the other one that is actually happening in the future.
The first one was that was a trick to trap.
Yeah, that was for the loser kids to go
now all the cool kids are listening.
Everybody who got there on June 2nd, a big net dropped on them.
Yeah. Now all the cool kids, you're all that's left. So you are actually invited to the World UFO Day, which is July 2nd, Saturday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And also the Crypto Science Society's Sweet 16.
Yep.
Heidi Gad, will give a year in review briefing. Jason Cordova will give a presentation on the lore of UFO folk, and Alejandro Rojas will be their man on the street from the UFO festival in Roswell. So it's going to be a phenomenal time. Links are in our Discord, as well as all over our Twitter. Check out our Twitter. You will see these links, and please have some fun. Enjoy. Take part. It's going to be awesome.
We're going to spike the punch with mantis juice.
Everybody's going to be a mantis man.
All's well that Roswell is what Jason says in the chat.
This is very true. Also, check us out on Mondays on Twitch, twitch.tv/werewolf_radar at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. We play D&D in a very cool homebrew campaign put together by our wonderful DM, Colin Cthulhu. We are in a band in this one. The band is called Night Bastard, and we're having a lot of fun in the floating city of New Sonido. So come check us out there. And I think that does it.
If you happen to do it on the day that this episode drops, we'll be doing something different than that.
We will be doing something different.
Normally.
Probably some V-Rising or something.
Also, 14filmfestival.com. Check that out. We're judges.
So many things. Just follow us on all the social media, and you'll get all of these scoops. But what you won't get is our deepest, sincerest thanks for listening and our special sign-off line.
5-star reviews, please.
5-star review, please. Shout out to Chuck for Snappy Little Numbers for intro and outro song.
Shout outs to the patrons.
Shout outs to the patrons.
Shout outs to the pingos.
And of course, until next time, as always, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, punch the sky!
Spaceman Joe. I hit a lot of notes there. Thank you. I'm trying to Beyonce. Sound designed by Blue Blanket Sound. Contact them at hello@blueblanketsound.com or www.blueblanketsound.com.